The 28th match week of the Premier League has already commenced. Newcastle United booked their second consecutive win after outplaying Nottingham Forest 2-1 away from home. Hello and welcome to News 9 Special Premier League Predictions. This is Hardik Agrawal and I will take you through the matches of the week in the Premier League as well as in the FA Cup. Let's see what we have in store. Tottenham travelled to Southampton this week after their 3-1 triumph against Nottingham Forest last week. Newcastle United are catching up on them to get a spot in the top 4. Only 1 point separates these sides, with the Magpies having a game in hand. Antonio Conte's men would be putting their best foot forward to extend their lead against Saints, who sit at the bottom of the table and have been abysmal in attacks this season. They just had one shot on target in their 0-2 loss to Brentford at home. Spurs' momentum is high, but they have had a topsy-turvy spells this season. It could be hard for them to book an out-and-out win at St. Mary's, but a narrow win for the North London club is expected. Chelsea are back to winning ways since Graham Potter decided to resort back to 3-4-3 formation in which the Blues played under Thomas Tuchel. They have defeated Leeds and Leicester in the last 2 match weeks, and their second leg exceptional UCL win against Dortmund was sandwiched between the 2 PL games. Havertz and Sterling are back to scoring ways, but they must go an extra mile to edge past Everton. The Toffees come into this one after a 1-0 win against Brentford, and Sean Dyche has done a good job since taking over. 5 in the midfield could be expected. It could be a stodgy game at the bridge, but the hosts are likely to prevail. Vincent Kompany returns to Manchester City, but in an unlikely manner. This time he would be in the opposition dugout as he travels to Etihad as manager of Burnley to play the FA Cup quarter-finals. Under his mentorship, Burnley have been a force to be reckoned with in the Championship, cruising the league with 13-point lead at the top. Coming to Manchester and facing his former manager Pep Guardiola would be a stern test for the Belgian, but his passion for coaching suggests that he can turn the tide against City, where he has the stature of a legend. It could be a nerve-wracking fixture, but the host could bag a win in the injury time or penalties, but a draw is expected at full time. Arsenal faced a distressing defeat in the Europa League, which knocked them out of the competition despite taking 9 shots on target in comparison to their rival Sporting Lisbon's 2. Arteta was disappointed with the result, but now their focus shifts to the Premier League, where they are in contention for the title. Europa League blow would hurt the confidence of the players, but this is a good chance for them to restore their belief against a Crystal Palace side whose managerial duties are under transition following the sacking of Patrick Vieira. Eagles are winless in 2023 and this pattern might continue against league leaders Arsenal despite Patrick McCarthy, their interim manager, being on the sidelines. Arsenal's Gabriel Jesus is expected to be in the starting 11 after being out for months due to an injury. Manchester United play Fulham in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. In both the fixtures of Premier League between these sides this season, United have been unbeaten. They recorded a 2-1 win at Craven Cottage and shared spoils at the Theatre of Dreams. Marco Silva's Fulham can't be taken for granted. They attack with a breathtaking speed, and United could be under trouble in the absence of Casemiro. The Brazilian is suspended for 4 matches due to the red card against Southampton. Anything could happen in this fixture as both sides possess similar attacking threat. United defence must be wary of Mitrovic, but the Red Devils have an upper hand considering Cottagers come into this one after a 0-3 humiliating loss against the Gunners. Rashford could make a difference in this one. Bournemouth stunned everyone after defeating Liverpool 1-0 in the week gone by. They also delivered a breathtaking performance against Gunners in the week before, but ended up losing the match 3-2 in an unceremonious manner. Aston Villa would be a tough nut to crack at home with the backing of their fans. They are unbeaten in their last 4 matches, and Unai Emery is bringing the best out of the squad. Watkins could be the wild card against the Cherries. In this one, we are expecting Villa to win. Brentford have proved to be one of the best attacking sides in the league with an average of 1.6 goals per match. The Bees will take on Leicester this week. The Foxes are at their lowest, having lost their last 4 matches and scoring just once in the process, while conceding 8 as well. Leicester are on the 16th position and the dark clouds of relegation are looming over them. Bees are eyeing European qualification this time around, and they have the firepower to make it possible. They could continue their pursuit against Foxes with a win. Tony has scored thrice in their last 5 matches and has also earned a call from England manager Gareth Southgate for the European qualifiers. He could be the difference maker at the Community Stadium. A Brentford win is expected in this one. Leeds must rack up some points to get out of the relegation zone. This week, they travel to Wolves with the agenda to bag all 3 points following their 2-2 draw against Brighton in the previous tie. Patrick Bamford's shoulders would be heavy going into this clash because goals must come from his end to take the team out of the rut situation. However, it looks unlikely that Leeds would win against Wolves. The hosts have won 3 of their last 4 matches at home in recent times, and Lopetegui would try to get the best out of his attack to get the much needed goals. These teams could share spoils in this one. Moving on to the last fixture of this weekend, which is going to take place in the FA Cup, and this is an interesting one considering only 5 other teams from the 4th tier or lower have come as far as Grimsby Town have in 151 years in the FA Cup. After defeating Southampton in the last round, the Football League 2 club are a semi-final spot as they face Brighton at the MX Stadium in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Roberto De Zerbi's men are frivolous up front and have 3 wins in their last 4 matches across all competitions. The Italian manager is bringing the best out of the likes of Mitoma, Marsh and Welbeck, and his team could have an upper hand in this clash. The Seagulls could progress to the semi-finals after a win against Grimsby Town. That's about it from this episode. Thank you for staying tuned. Enjoy the beautiful game of football. We will be back next week with the review and predictions. Until then, goodbye. Also, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. This is Hardik signing off.